Hey guys, so with the addition of the Eurofighter, Germany finally has a competitive top-tier closer support vehicle to use, which is a very needed upgrade, but sadly it isn't as good as other nations' closer support. And it has some problems that you will see during the video that make this plane experience be a struggle sometimes. Also, the biggest issue is the lack of any fire and forget ordnance, making it extremely hard to focus multiple targets in one strafe. You only fire and forget weaponry would be the laser plus GPS bombs that aren't the best, since you need to predict where enemies are going to be in the next 30 seconds. And the moment you turn on your laser to look at someone else, all GPS bombs will start to track the laser pointer, making you miss all of them. With that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video and let's start with the gameplay. So yeah, for this first game I started with a mix of brimstone missiles and wave force, and as you can see in this first clip there are a bunch of enemies sniping our spawn in fixed positions, so the best course of action is just launch some bombs at them with the laser pointer off. This is very important so that each and one of them flies in a GPS guidance mode and they fly pinpoint accurate to where I mark. Unlucky for me that that third bomb didn't track in time. I was already very close, but it is what it is. You also have the brimstone missiles, as you can see here. I like to launch them in pairs because you have a lot of them. They are essentially hellfire missiles that they hit a bit harder, but not always you are gonna kill MBTs with only one, so that's why I always try to ensure kills with two missiles. But if you want to save as many missiles as possible, you can launch only one, and for the most of the times it's gonna be a free kill. And now again there are more SPAAs, and I'm launching some bombs at them with the GPS guidance, and I see the Strela, which is right now my most dangerous target, but since it's moving and I already have GPS bombs on other SPAAs, if I launch the bomb and I turn on the laser to kill the Strela, the rest of my bombs are gonna miss, so the best course of action is just fly away, keep my distance. Strela doesn't have more than 5 kilometers range, and just play patience. So yeah, Chaparral dies. Unfortunately, I miss on the Shilka that just kept on running. Smart move there by her. And now I need to re-engage at the Strela. And as you can see, the targeting pod just has too much zoom. That's one of the biggest issues when trying to find enemies. If you zoom out, you can barely see anything, even with the Gen 3 thermals. And if you zoom in, the pod will give you so much zoom that it's gonna be a pain in the ass to scout through all the battlefield. Fortunately for me, I end up finding it, and I just launch the bomb, turn on the laser a bit later after flying away. One really good thing about this targeting pod is how good it can be at detecting planes, because it has Gen 3 thermals. 10 km away Sukhoi, my radar wasn't finding him because he was too close to the ground, but the thermals had no issue at tracking. Later I just can log with the ACM mode and ensure the kill. Also, if you are with a Sukhoi 39, and as this player is, don't bring the radar pod. As you can see, my RWR, it was showing MiG-29, which was the Sukhoi instead, but that kept me alert and just made me try to find him. If he didn't bring the targeting pod, I would have ignored him and he would have had free closer support. And again, as you can see here, how bad the targeting pod is. Fortunately, I know there was then a murder already from earlier, so I don't have much struggle, but it could have been a very big issue to find someone between all the dead bodies and the zoom, trying to zoom in and zoom out every dead body. And for those of you that have played this plane in air battles, you already know how bad the radar can be. As you can see, I'm using the TWS to track the F-15 that is incoming in front of me, but you will see how the TWS is not being able to keep on with the lock of the enemy. And I mean, I don't know how they screwed up so bad this radar, but I refuse to believe this radar is so bad in real life. I am sorry, maybe I'm wrong on this. Let me know in the comments if you know something about it, but I don't know if it's only me that has been having a lot of struggle to keep the track on enemies with the radar. Also, another little trick you can do with the brimstone missile and the targeting pod is snipe the runway. In this case, it was only the drone that was still alive in the enemy team, so don't be that guy that stays above the enemy airfield waiting for enemies to respawn, but just know you can do that. And for this second game, there's gonna be a lot of panzers, a lot of planes you will see eventually, but this is the main issue of the Eurofighter. If there's panzers, if there's anti-airs launching at you, you only have the GPS guidance of bombs to deal with them efficiently. And even then, the bombs, I've already launched them, they're gonna take 20, maybe 30 seconds to arrive at the target. So if they intercept them or they just move a little bit, my bombs are completely gonna miss. In the meantime, at least, since they are GPS, they don't require you to do anything. You can go for enemy planes or fly back, fly defensive. Fortunately for me, this Panzer wasn't aware of the bombs. Maybe the windmill was blocking the radar view, I don't know, but I could kill it. And the same's gonna happen to this Tunguska, but again, it is very risky to do this with paveways. Because, okay, you launch and then you can hide and avoid the missiles. You're not gonna die, but any little movement from the enemies, or if they are smart enough to notice your launch, they are just gonna intercept the bomb. They have plenty of time, so it's not the most effective weapon you can use in this game. What I really like about the Eurofighter is the capability to lock onto helicopters with the brimstones. They are Hellfires, but they are extremely agile. So if you lock at a helicopter, they are screwed. They cannot do anything. They are gonna get the laser warning, but the missile, even if they try to go down or go defensive, as you can see in these clips, it's gonna pull, and they don't have the amount of G's to dodge it. I've tried to kill planes with the brimstones, but I haven't been lucky. I don't know if any one of you guys has been, let me know, but probably you could try to kill planes with the brimstone missile. I know I've been complaining a lot about some of the features of the Eurofighter, but it is very, very nice to have a full 360 degrees missile approach warning system, and also the amount of G's this plane can pull at any speed. Unfortunate for me, there's a Panzer in front, and I need to kill it with brimstone, so I'm out of bombs. But yeah, most of the times, if the Panzer is just gonna get you killed. And keep an eye on my RWR, even if it's a Panzer, the Panzer has two completely different radars, the search and the track radar. So while it's tracking a target, it's gonna show as a question mark, and you're not gonna know what's in front of you with the RWR. I've been killed a few times already because of this. When I spawn, it shows as a question mark. I think it's a Gepard or something like that, and it was a Panzer already looking at me, and I didn't have time to identify it as an S1. So be very, very careful when you spawn and the RWR is telling you a question mark, because most of the times just assume it's gonna be a Panzer, and it's better to be safe than sorry. And right now with the brimstone, you can see that the only chance you have to get 2 kills in a row is very, very fast. In third person view, which in my opinion is faster, get a second lock right after the missiles explode. Because as you are gonna see in this clip, the missiles, the brimstone missiles, are very, very agile, but at the same time they are slow. I launch at a Tunguska, and for when my missile is gonna hit the Tunguska has already launched 3 missiles at me, and you are gonna need to be flying defensive and dodge the missiles while your brimstone is still flying. So be very, very careful when trying to deal with SPAAs with this missile, because yeah, it is very, very slow. You need to fly extremely cautious with it. And right now, there are like 2 Sukhois, an F-15, my RWR is pinging me, my missile approach warning system is warning me of some launch, which is probably a Panzer with the question mark sign. I don't know why it shows like that, it's very painful to identify them. And right now I just launched at the Sukhoi that luckily I get to lock with the ACM mode, because search mode on this thing, it's sometimes horrendous. I just launched 2 AMRAAMs and an AIM-9, I need him out. There's Panzers, there's another Sukhoi, there's an F-15 that luckily dies to my friendly Aito, but I needed that Sukhoi out of the match. Because right now I'm being chased by a second Sukhoi while there's a Panzer locking me in front of me. So best thing you can do is just hug the ground and get as away as possible as you can from the battlefield so that the Panzer doesn't intercept you the moment you merge against the Sukhoi. But right now I'm very stressed. I don't know where the Sukhoi is. The Sukhoi knows where I am. It's already launching at me. I'm just launching as many flares as I want. This plane has 400 or so. It's really good flare count, so you can just pre-flare over and over in this type of scenarios. I barely made it alive against that R-73 that was about to get me killed, so I just decided to launch all my paveways to get that extra mobility on the Eurofighter. I shouldn't be losing these fights, but I usually suck at 1v1, so don't be afraid to have to drop all your ordnance to ensure the 1v1 if you are like me. Yeah, once again you're gonna see how good the Brimstone missiles are at tracking helicopters. I insist, I gotta try this against a plane one of these days. I don't know if it's gonna work, but man, they sure are great at killing helicopters and killing tanks. Just look at this, the helicopter is trying to fly away, but nah, he cannot do anything. Helicopters don't have the maneuverability to turn in time and dodge them even if they are being warned. And here again I tried to kill 2 tanks in one go, but the Brimstones, even if they are maneuverable, they cannot maneuver that much, so yeah, that's the main problem the Eurofighter has for closer support, the lack of fire and forget. I know I already said it, but it's a really big problem you need to be cautious about. And well, for the Eurofighter in general, it has a really bad radar. I don't know why, but my HMD was only looking at his missiles. I couldn't look at him in a complete head-on, but fortunately we both missed our shots and our missiles. So I made it alive out of there, and the F-15 for some reason is not chasing me, so yeah, he gave me 3 engagements and I think it was a Sukhoi there. Yeah, it was a Sukhoi, but my AMRAAM misses. That was my bad. I shouldn't have launched an AMRAAM rear aspect without having the double red outline on the missile. When you don't have those perfect locks, there's a very high chance your radar missile will miss, so spare them, okay? You only have 4 AMRAAMs in this configuration, so don't waste them as I'm doing it right now. So yeah, here you can see how the AMRAAM shows like a double circle outline before I launch. That's when you know that the missile lock is correct for radar missiles. Just save them for those moments, because if not, it's very likely you're gonna miss them. I don't know if I'm the only one, but with the Eurofighter, given how slow all your ordnance is, I end up playing too close to the battlefield. Like right now I'm 2 kilometers away from the battlefield and I still haven't found the target to attack. If there was an SPAA, I would have been dead 2 years ago, so maybe you should try to play it a bit more cautious, even if you lose more time between kills. If you play this aggressive, you are risking that Estrella respawns and revenge kills you. And yeah, again, Brimstone under 1.5 kilometer, that's no problem for the helicopter. I tried to kill the plane, but I was flaring, but keep an eye, because since the flares go downwards and I was already too close to the water was soaking up my heat signature and the missile flies straight to me. And again, as the first match, just launching some bombs. I know the Namer has been sitting there for the whole game. I launched a second one at the ADATS. ADATS is smart, just runs away my bomb misses, but luckily for me, the Namer stayed there the whole game. Just a free kill there with the GPS guidance. But yeah, as you can see, the ADATS doesn't even need to bother trying to take down the bomb, just has to get away, and it's gonna miss. They don't have much explosive. I think they are 500-pound bombs or something like that. I just need another Brimstone, and I almost got killed there. Lucky for me, the ADATS didn't manage to pull in time. Now keep an eye on the missile. It's gonna be a 500 or 600 meter shot, but look at the agility there on the Brimstone. It's gonna track perfectly onto my laser pointer. Oh my god, I love these missiles for this kind of shots. Also, they pen very hard. I launched a second one there to the Abrams, but through the cheek, which is usually the hardest point to penetrate the Abrams, I killed 3 of his crew. So that would be all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I know I complained about the weak spots of the Eurofighter mainly, but it's still a great improvement that Germany really needed. You have really good mobility, and the loadout is great because you can do air-to-air and air-to-ground combat at the same time. If you've enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like or sharing, since it would really help me with that support. And as always, feel free to share your thoughts on the plane in the comments, and feel free to ask me about the vehicle or game, since I enjoy sharing some thoughts with you. Thanks a lot guys, and see you next video.